Welcome to the commentary track edition of Man vs. Squirrel. I'm M.H. Smith, writer, director, producer. The opening credit sequence here you can tell is an obvious rip-off of Psycho, with the exception of the two character flashes that we just got. And yes, as it says, it is based off a novel I am writing. It won't be done for a long, long time. Not the point. I wrote this screenplay, I think, back in 2007, when I had my wisdom teeth pulled and became buddy-buddy with Percocet during the recovery time. I think it actually bleeds through into this, but oh well. This was actually the only movie I've ever shot that ran exactly the way I wanted it to. Exactly what was on script, wound up on screen. Line for line, shot for shot. With the exception, the little itty-bitty exception, of an eating sequence, but I'll explain it when we get to it. The house you're seeing now is my house, home of Retrovision Studios. That was the one effect shot didn't quite work right, the panning through the glass. Yes, the house is a total mess, and this is my room we're in. It is much cleaner than it is now than it is back then. And there's Miss Pritchett, lying in my bed with a desk that has a clock and a PS3 on it that is not really there. I have a different table now, and I just thought it would look nicer. That little ping scares the stuffing out of people. I love it. There's our first halfway decent view of Mr. Pritchett's face, but it was intended where you couldn't see him. Stepping over, yes. As you can see, I'm keeping his head blocked out now just to keep the man a little secret. There's one aspect I wish to talk about coming up right here, my favorite part of Man vs. Squirrel. The music. Oh, isn't that great? This is the first time I've used a completely original score from my man, Mr. Yam Ama. I met Mr. Ama through kind of strange circumstances that I'll go through somewhere else. He did an excellent job. He'd never done film scores before, but so this is really his first movie score. He did an excellent job, though. A really excellent job. And here's Mr. Randall Pritchett, who I've worked with so many times now, he's turning into my Bruce Campbell. Yeah. He makes a lot of noise with everything in my movies. I don't understand why, but it all looks cool. Ah, yes, breakfast. And the first image of things to come. Now, the strange thing to it, when I mentioned about being kind of tripping on Percocet during this, it's actually what gave me the main inspiration for this here, is his medication that he has to take for, which actually is in a deleted sequence to it. Actually, is an addition of a sequence. He had an extra line about not wanting to take his medicine because even though he still has a sore, runny nose. It's actually an in-joke to a little project Mr. Pritchett did a while back on his YouTube channel called Zycomyphylenol. Yeah, I kind of hijacked the Zycomyphylenol and made it like this ultimate... Oh, script copy in the background if anyone can see it over by the flowers. I wanted to use Zycomyphylenol in my project. Oh, look, there's me reflecting in the microwave. You'll see me again in just a second. Well, it's more my lower regions. Painting. There I am. Yeah, I wanted to use Zycomyphylenol. I just tweaked it and made it a drug. It ties into a couple other projects, too, so... But it was nice. Here's our first image of the dread that is heading our way. Puts the milk away. And the best musical cue in the whole movie right here. Ha ha! The real star of this film. The little squirrel. Now, a little bit of history on the squirrel statue. A while back... Oh, there's the script and a tripod and a gun sitting on the chair, if anybody sees it in the background. It's a good thing you asked, Mr. Pritchett. He actually came from the Southern Beach Command of Retrovision Studios. When we obtained a area in the beach, in the yard... we found this little plastic squirrel. It was a little ugly little statue that my parents were going to chunk, but I looked at it and said, I have possibilities with this thing.
Squirrel statue where it came from.
No, actually, you asked me. But, oh well. But no, I just thought it had the weirdest little smile on it that I had to keep it. And, a legend is born. Important locking doors. This here is actually the second take of him turning it, because originally Mr. Pritchett turned the other knob and turned it the incorrect way and broke it. That was a fun repair. And of course, since this movie is kind of a large nod and tribute to Psycho, had to show the shower head. Oh, listen to that music. Isn't it awesome? Yes, I get a lot of comments on the squirrel. Everybody likes the squirrel. Everybody who's seen the squirrel up close agrees with me. It's just so creepy. How can... It needed to be used. If you ever rewind it, behind in the living room there, you saw a big light standing in the middle. That's actually the main lighting source for a good part of this movie. Oh, look, the squirrel has, moved. I like the heartbeats. That was a nice touch on Valerie Steele's little moment. And the comment that gets the most gross out. I don't know why. I figured you get an actor and make him shirtless, we'll get the women vote. I've always liked that effect of having a door close and immediately reopen and a person's changed outfits. I always just thought that was a cool moment. Here we are at my mother's computer. Here's kind of a continuity here. He gets online, starts looking through the internet, and danger arises. More heartbeats. He was on the internet. Now he's playing solitaire. There's actually a really funny blooper about solitaire, but I've got a blooper reel coming, so... Oh, it's gone. What will he ever do? A little reference back to Bob and Rob of the tapping the computer, which, ironically, Mr. Pritchett, upon shooting that, said, sounds like a squirrel. Foreshadowing. Above the little, the white plug was the computer. The above one was the camera. Cheesy here. I hate scares like that, because it's usually the stuff that makes me jump. So, of course, if you're doing a scary movie, what scares the maker?
Hello? Yes, Mom, I'm fine.
I like this conversation here. Most because of one joke right here.
Mom, I wasn't surfing for porn. Okay.
That gets a laugh out of like 3 out of every 10 people who watch it.
I was just gonna make lunch myself. Yeah. Do I have to? This pill tastes horrible.
There's supposed to be an extra line after that, but oh well. And our little plastic friend has vanished.
Hey, Mom, I gotta go. Yeah, love you too.
Yeah, sure he did. If only his mother had known that'd be the last time she ever sees him. Here's a shot nobody understands. Well, no, wait, no, we're coming up to it. Here's kind of the big principle of the moment that's the big plot shift that everybody needs to ask the question of. Number one, he's going to OD on pills here. All his little medication. Which raises the big question, is the squirrel that he's seeing, is it all in his head? Or is it real? It's a question I wanted everyone to ask.